MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $50 at WynnBET and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WynnBET. Download the WynnBET app now or visit wynnbet.com and start winning today. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. You already play fantasy on Sleeper, but now you can win cold hard cash with their over-under game. Just head to sleeper.com/SGP on your phone and join the SGPN group. And Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's sleeper.com/SGP. And make sure to check out our relaunch merch store where you can get all your favorite SGPN gear. Just go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. That's store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Welcome, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is Wednesday, 5:08 on the East Coast, here to break down the Thursday games in MLB. And joining me are the young guns of the MLB Gambling Podcast. First, my main man on the East Coast, it's Dylan Rockford. Dylan, how you feeling this Wednesday afternoon, my man?
Hey, it's going good, Moonoff. Good to be with you and Noah. Even day yesterday, 5-5, but I hit on my lock with the Orioles. The Cardinals never had a chance, but good to be with you, boys.
Yep, rough day for me as well. We'll get into the picks here in a second here, but also joining us from the Great Lakes, as he's told me to say, it's also Noah Beanick. Noah, how you doing, my man?
How's it going, Moonoff? Yeah, Wednesday afternoon, but this is technically the podcast that'll be posted on National 77 Day, 7th day of the 7th month. Let's go.
There you go. So I'm assuming there's going to be a 77 tattoo in your future, or no?
No, I'm not really a tattoo guy.
Yeah, let's recap our picks here from yesterday, guys, quickly. Dylan, you had the Orioles money line. That was another what? It was another offensive game, wasn't it? We saw a high scoring game in that contest again, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, 10-9. So the Orioles jumped out to a 4-0 lead in the second. Then Texas came back in the fifth, scored 3, and then Orioles scored 3 in the seventh, just back and forth, but they eventually win 10-9. 26 hits in the game. So a lot of offense for not the best teams, but good offense.
Yeah, I know you and I both had the Cardinals money line, but you nailed it there. That one didn't stand a chance, but it's a new day. Hopefully we can knock our dogs out for the Wednesday schedule and also for the Thursday schedule. But Noah, you want to take us through your picks? I think you swept the board yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, in 40 minutes.
There you go. That's a record.
Syndergaard cashed his over 4.5 strikeouts in the 4th inning. And then Sandy Alcantara just keeps rolling. 8.5 wasn't any, or it was 6.5, I think, for him. I think 8.5 is one of the ones that I had for today. But 6.5 was not really much of a concern for Sandy throughout that game. This guy just keeps his pitch count low. He has just good stuff in general. The ball's dancing like crazy out of his hand, and it's pure. And as long as they keep throwing these low totals out there, I'm going to keep jumping on them.
Yeah, 100%, man. So Noah sweeps the board. I had, like I mentioned, the Cardinals as my lock. Sorry, the Cardinals as my dog. That one didn't cash. I had the over 8 in the Jays and A's game. They had, I believe, 8 runs through 5 innings, and they put up goose eggs for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th inning yesterday. So that was a tough beat there. It looked good very early on, but I guess a push is better than a loss, right, guys? So we'll take it. Malcolm,
did you guys see Malcolm's lock and how that, or the dog?
I did, yeah. Let's get to Malcolm's pick here. He had the Pittsburgh Pirates as his dog of the day against the Yankees. Noah, you want to walk us through that one?
I mean, I had Tyone's over 4.5 Ks as my lock, and that one was shaky because I was thinking a revenge game for him. He's going to come in. He's been pitching pretty well on the road. He was undefeated going into that game, and I didn't like how Malcolm took them as a dog against Tyone, but I was like, that worked for both of us. Got both wins there, and then his lock was just as exciting.
Yeah, he had the Red Sox money line yesterday, and that game was
Wait,
definitely a roller coaster, like you mentioned there, Noah.
sorry,
Sorry,
who had the Orioles? I thought it was me.
um,
That's my bad.
Dylan did
Dylan
yesterday.
had the Orioles. That was a fun game.
Oh
Sorry.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was. I mean, both of those games, Monday and Tuesday, have been really close, like back and forth games between the Rangers and the Orioles. I know
Yeah.
the Orioles got the walk off by a hit by pitch in extra innings on Monday on July 4th, and then yesterday I know Odor tied it up. I believe it was in the ninth inning, wasn't it, with like 2 outs, and then I think they got it done. Um, in I believe in the bottom of the ninth. That oh no, that one went to extras yesterday as well. They got it done in 10. But yeah, Malcolm had the Red Sox as his lock. That one, uh, the Rays got out to a 3-0 lead. Red Sox came back and tied it up. But again, the bullpen was I guess poo poo again for the Boston Red Sox as it has been all season long. But he takes an L there. But his dog certainly made up for it, like we discussed. He had the Pittsburgh Pirates over the New York Yankees in the opener of that series. So the Yankees look to bounce back here on Wednesday night with, I believe, Severino is on the mound against Mitch Keller. But
He's
we're
in
here
the
to
comments right now saying that we're handsome too. So
thank you, Malcolm. I
Oh,
appreciate
thanks.
that. I'm waiting for him to comment to say, but it's not the handsomest guy on the stream right now. I'm waiting for him to say that. But yeah, guys, Thursday we have 12 games on the schedule. Um, a little more than we're used to seeing on Thursdays, but we're gonna go
Yeah.
through all of them here. Usually we get like what 7 or 8, maybe a lot of afternoon action on Thursday, but we have a lot of action in the evening. We do have special guest Minty Betts joining the show later on. Did a special segment with her earlier. You'll hear from her. We talked about some things in that portion. We'll talk about the A's relocation to Vegas. Don't think that's coming into fruition anymore. We talked about our charity bet with the Los Angeles Angels win total. So that was a fun conversation with Minty and us. Well, she is going to have some picks as well for the Thursday schedule in MLB. But guys, let's just dive right into it here with the first game on Thursday, July 7th. It's going to be a 2:10 Eastern start between the Kansas City Royals and the Houston Astros. Bubic is on the mound for the Kansas City Royals and Verlander on the mound for the Houston Astros. Looking at the opening line for this game, the Houston Astros are heavy favorites here, minus 295 on the money line, plus 245 on the money line for the Kansas City Royals. Over under is set at 8.5, but juice towards the under at minus 120. Run line minus 1.5, minus 140 for the Houston Astros, and plus 1.5, plus 120 for the Kansas City Royals. I will let Dylan lead this one off, my man. Astros and Royals.
Yeah, I love the under here. Verlander, he's on the mound, like you mentioned, Moonoff, and I think he's going to be really able to limit the Royals' bats. The Astros are just really an under team. They're 28, 49, and 3 towards the under. So I think the Astros, they'll be able to get a few, but I don't trust the Royals' bats to get over this number. So I like under 8.5. It's juiced for a reason.
Yeah, Verlander over the last 5 games, 4-1 with a 1.65 ERA. He's just having a Cy Young year. There's no better way to put it. But yeah, a lot of his games have been going towards the under in his starts, and rightfully so, right? The ERA kind of reflects that as well. And Bubic on the other side, he has not been very good on the road or even throughout the season so far for the Kansas City Royals. He's 1-5 with a 7.06 ERA. He did face the Astros earlier this year, where he did actually throw 5 shutout innings against them, only allowed 5 hits. But for him on the road, he's 1-1 with a 6.16 ERA. I do like Verlander here as well, and the Astros. I would probably take the run line here. Noah, you have anything for this game?
yeah, the one thing that I will add is like Bubic in his last few starts here throughout June and early July, he's gone 5 innings, 6 innings, and the defense has let him down. He's only given up 2 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 4 earned runs in those 4 starts. And one of those starts turned into like 7 runs on a couple of errors there. But I mean, as long as he can limit the walks, I kind of like where Dylan's going with the under. And you know, my rule is just don't fade Verlander. This guy's coming off of Tommy John, and like you said, he's having a Cy Young year. So if that's proof that you really shouldn't fade him. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. I mean, it's crazy to see what this guy's been able to do this season, coming off of TJ surgery. So, certainly in contention for the Cy Young Award in the American League so far this season. All right, let's get over to the next game, guys. We have another 2:10 Eastern start between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Cincinnati Reds. A little NL Central clash here. Contreras on the mound for the Pirates and Minor on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. I do not see lines for this game here. Dylan, why don't you give us your lines here, and then I will let Noah do the handicap.
Yeah, so I did make the Pirates a minus 110 favorite. Minus 1.5. I need at least plus 140 for the Pirates. Same thing, flip for the Reds, plus 110 for the money line, plus 1.5, minus 140, and I made my total 9.7. So I don't want any parts in this game. It's just a bad game. I do expect a higher scoring, which is why I made my total so high. So maybe you want to take the bullpens out, maybe look towards the first 5 under, but I'll probably have no parts in this game.
Noah?
Yeah, so the over is hit in 4 of Pittsburgh's last 6 and 7 of Cincinnati's last 9. The Pirates, they're kind of a weird team this year where, as we saw last night, they beat the Yankees. They also sweep the Dodgers. They do really well against these good teams. And you wonder what they're going to do here against Cincinnati. Is Cincinnati, they have a rough record at home. Pittsburgh, they have a rough record on the road. One guy that just I don't think gets talked about enough right now from the Pirates is Jack Sawinski, because he's balling out right now. He's got 14 home runs on the season, and he's got a 915 OPS. Pitching for the Pirates here is Roansy Contreras, who's a guy that I got burned on the last time that he pitched on this podcast and we were covering it. He's 2-2 on the year now. He's got 43 strikeouts, 21 walks with a 4.09 ERA. And that game that I was talking about, I got burned. He only went 2.2. He gave up 7 runs, only 5 hits though, and it was a lot of long balls. There's 3 long balls of those 5 hits, and that's what costed him in that game. So it was just a start where he didn't have full control of his pitches because he had 2 walks, only 1 strikeout in those 2.2 innings. And for the Reds, we have Mike Minor going. He's 1-5 with a 6.82 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 10 walks in 31.2 innings pitched. He's coming off of a 6-inning outing, only giving up 2 runs against Atlanta. For my pick here, I'm just going to go take the over. I think that once we get into this bullpen, because both these guys don't really go too deep into the games normally, and Minor is prone to have a couple of blow-up outings as well. And I don't know what we're going to see from Contreras. I know he's got the talent, but I'm just gonna settle on the over here.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you guys said. I mean, I don't really have interest in this game, but if I did have to make a pick, Noah, I agree with you. I'd probably take the over full game. The bullpens are not very good, and I think that maybe a first 5 innings over is probably in order as well in this game with these 2 pitchers on the mound here. So looking at the over in this game between myself and Noah, and Dylan's number at 9.7 kind of does back that. Does back that up. All right, guys. Next game on the board. Let's go to the 4:05 Eastern start. It's going to be between the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. I as well do not see a line for this game because I don't see a pitcher listed for the Washington Nationals. Do you guys have a pitcher listed for? Oh, I see Adon. It might be starting for the Nationals. Is that what you guys see?
Yeah, I got Adon.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay. Dylan, why don't you give us your lines for this game, and then we'll get into the handicap for it.
Yeah, so I made the Phillies a minus 170 favorite, minus 1.5. I need any sort of plus money for the run line. Flip it, Nationals plus 170, plus 1.5, even money. I made my total 9.8. I think we see another high scoring game. This is another one where I really just going to lay off right now. I don't want to bet the Nationals. Phillies are probably the play. And I've also heard rumors out there that Ron Soto wants out. He just bought a mansion in LA. I mean, I don't blame the guy either. They've lost 11-0 last night. They're just 3-7 their last 10. So whatever this number opens up at, I'll probably either take Phillies in a parlay or I'll take Phillies on the run line. I can't back the Nationals here.
Yeah, man. I don't think Juan Soto is gonna be back with the Nationals either. It's
No.
crazy that you did mention that he bought a mansion out in LA. Do we think he goes to a West Coast team or one of these LA teams? What do you guys think, Noah?
Honestly, like I feel like a lot of these, it's hard to see. I guess him buying a house in LA kind of changes my mind. I think that a lot of the Hispanic players like to stay south, and Miami would be a nice spot for him with them coming up through this rebuild, and maybe he's like kind of the big star that they could grab, or I don't know, maybe LA is the place. I guess.
Dylan, you have any thoughts on Juan Soto where he might end up?
I just hate that everyone is going to the LA market and just wanting to go play with the Dodgers. It's annoying, but I do think that Miami would be a good fit. I want him out of the NL East as a Met fan. I don't want him in the NL East, but I do think that young team, Miami's just missing a few players offensively. They have the pitching. It's just
Yeah,
offensively. If they add a guy like Juan Soto, and he's not having his best year, but when he is 100%, we've all seen what Juan Soto's capable of doing. So
yeah.
I think Miami would be a great fit for him. Do I want him
Yeah.
there? No.
No, you have any thoughts for this game between the Nationals and the Phillies here?
So in the last 14 games that these two teams have played against each other, the over is hitting 12 of them, and Washington's 1-13 in those 14 games. So that's just kind of where I would be leaning in this game. Again, not too comfortable picking a side in this game. I hate that we just have a game that, I mean, it's kind of tough to stamp something on without any odds, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. All right, let's keep it moving here on the schedule. Here we have the 7:05. I'm sorry, Eastern start. 7:05 Eastern start. Here it's going to be the Los Angeles Angels headed to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. See Lorenzen on the mound for the Los Angeles Angels and Jordan Lyles on the mound for the Baltimore Orioles. Looking at the opening line for this game, let me check another site because I do see pitchers
While
listed.
he's checking, guys in the comments or the chat, let us know where you think Soto's going to go to.
Yeah, definitely let us know. I do not see a line for this game either. And I'm seeing conflicting pitchers here as well. Let me make sure. So for the Angels, I'm seeing Chase Selseth and then Jordan Lyles on one side. What did you guys have for this matchup, Dylan? What
Yeah,
do you
those
have?
are the two pitchers I have as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
still Seth versus Lyles.
Okay. Why don't you go just give it the line for this game, and then we'll and also if you want to get into the handicap for this game as well.
Yeah, so I made the Angels a -110 favorite, -1.5 plus 160, reverse Orioles +110, +1.5, -160. I made my total 8.6. Yeah, so no lines up, but I just told you my lines. I'm hoping if the lines come out, we can jump on the Orioles. I love this team at home. They have a great bullpen. They have a winning record at home. They've won 3 straight, while the Angels, they're on the opposite. They've dropped 4 in a row right now. So I think if we could get a nice plus price, maybe a plus 115, I think I'll be on the Orioles here.
Noah.
Yeah, I would be looking towards an under with both these offenses, not like world beaters, you know. And the under is hitting Baltimore's 11 of their past 15 games and 14 of the Angels' last 20. So both very good under teams here.
Yeah, Dylan mentioned that this team has been really good. The Orioles have been really good at home. They're the best team on the run line at home so far this season. They're 25-12, which is at 67.6%. The next team is the LA Dodgers at 22-16, which is at 57.9%. So they're, like Dylan said, they're doing really well at home. I want to continue back in the Orioles here. I do like them um, in this matchup as well. You guys have anything else for this game?
Yeah, 51-31 on the run line. I'll back that any day of the week.
Yeah, 100%. All right, before we keep it moving along here, let me tell you guys about our presenting sponsor, WinBet. Make sure to get down on Win's Bet $50 win, $200 promotion, where a $50 bet qualifies you for up to $200 in free bets. Plus, the ultimate fantasy football experience. Bet $500 or more on sports or in the casino before July 31st, 2022, and get entered to win the ultimate fantasy football draft experience at Encore Beach Club, including a 2-night stay at Wynn Resorts for you and your entire league. Multiple entries are allowed. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is download the WynnBet app or visit wynnbet.com to get started today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 years or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right, guys, let's keep the ball rolling here. The next game on the board is going to be the Miami Marlins at the New York Mets. It's a 7:10 Eastern start. Looking at the pitchers for this game, I am seeing Daniel Castano for the Miami Marlins, left-handed pitcher, and Trevor Williams as a starting pitcher for the New York Mets. Currently seeing lines for this game of minus 180 favorite for the New York Mets, plus 155 on the money line for the Miami Marlins. Over under is set at 8 with juice towards the over at minus 115. Run line minus 1.5 plus 115 for the New York Mets, and plus 1.5 minus 135 for the Miami Marlins. Dylan, I will let you lead this one off here, my man.
Yeah, so
Mets and Marlins.
Yeah, so I did make the Mets a minus 155 favorite, but this is just too much, especially against a Marlin team that's on fire right now. I don't know too much about Castano, but I do like the over. I made my total 8.8. I think the Mets, their bats are going to have to wake up eventually. I think we're gonna see our young star Alvarez come up very soon in the catcher spot. So because James McCann, he's not cutting it. He's hitting 171, so he's garbage. I think we need to make a move. We need to get another piece in our bullpen, but I can't back the Mets here right now. So I'm rooting for runs. Give me the over 8.
Noah, what do you got for this game?
You know, Castano has had 2 good outings in a row, a 5-inning piece against the Nationals where he only gave up 1 run, 1 earned run. There was 3 runs scored on him in 5 innings. And then he had a 7-inning game against the Mets just 2 weeks ago on June 26th where he went 7 innings, only gave up 2 earned on 1 home run. So, you know, it's you could paint the picture either way. You could say, hey, the Mets have seen this guy already before and they might be able to jump on him because they know what's coming type thing. But I definitely think that like you could use that angle because Trevor Williams on the Mets side here, he's not gone very deep into the games. His last 5 starts, he hasn't gone deeper than 4.2 innings pitched, and he's just not been solid so far. And I think he's more of a long reliever type arm. So I think this is definitely a spot for the over, like Dylan said. And honestly, I'll take the Marlins on the run the run line. That's a good price. I think they should be able to keep this one close.
Yeah, I think there's some value there on the run line at plus 1.5. I know it's at minus 135, but
I was hemming and hawing between a run line and a money line.
Yeah, look, the Marlins have been doing really well. They've won 6 games in a row. They got the final game against the Cardinals in their previous series. They swept the Washington Nationals in 4 games in the nation's capital. They got the victory last night. On Tuesday night against the LA Angels with their stud pitcher Cy Young favorite right now, Sandy Alcantara, in a 2-1 victory there. They do have Ohtani that they're going up against on Wednesday night. But I mean, this team looks like they're doing well. They're scoring enough runs to get over the line. I kind of do agree with you about the over and the plus 1.5 here. Until like Dylan said, until I see the Mets bats really wake up, I'm not very confident in backing them right now. So again, until I see those bats wake up, I'll get on the Mets. But I think this is a good spot here for the Marlins on the run line. And if you do want to get on that money line as well at that price of plus 155, I don't hate it. Let's keep the ball rolling here, guys. On the next game on the board, it's going to be the St. Louis Cardinals in Atlanta, 7 o'clock Eastern start. This one is going to be on. No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Sorry, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox is going to be the rivalry between these two AL East teams. 7:10 Eastern start. It's going to be Garrett Cole on the mound for the New York Yankees and for the Boston Red Sox. Josh, oh, I'm going to butcher this last name. Who is going to
Winkowski, right?
Winkowski. There you go. All right. Garrett Cole, let me start with the lines here. It's going to be a minus 165 road favorite here for the New York Yankees, plus 140 on the money line for the Boston Red Sox. Over under is set at 8.5 in this game. Run line plus 1.5, minus 120 for the Boston Red Sox, and minus 1.5 even money for the for the New York Yankees. I will lead this one off here. Garrett Cole has been, again, I hate to use the term herky jerky, but that's exactly kind of what he's been. I mean, we've seen starts where he's looked like the Cy Young pitcher that the New York Yankees wanted or paid this guy to be. And it's been other games where he's just gotten blown up early. I think the last game where he got blown up early was that Minnesota Twins game where he gave up 7 earned runs. But since then, he's been pretty good for the New York Yankees. His last 5 games, he's been 2-1 with a 3.45 ERA, 28 and 2/3 innings pitched, 11 earned runs allowed. On the road so far this season, he's 4-0 with a 3.80 ERA. He's allowed 18 earned runs and 42 and 2/3 innings pitched. Against the Boston Red Sox, in his career, he is 5-3 with a ERA of 4. He's struck out 73 batters in just 11 appearances. He did have a start earlier this year against the Boston Red Sox. This was, I think, the second game of the season where he allowed 3 earned runs and 4 innings pitched. I don't think we can take a lot away, guys, from the month of April, just because, again, it was the second game of the season there. So I'm not putting too much stock in April starts here. But as a member of the New York Yankees, he is 3-2 with a 4.36 ERA, 42 strikeouts, 6 appearances against the Boston Red Sox as a pitcher for the Yankees. A lot of times when I see these two teams match up, I expect to see runs, and I think that will not be a shortage here in this game, even though they do have Garrett Cole on the mound. The Red Sox can get to the New York Yankees, but I want to get your thoughts on this game here. Noah, I'll start with you here on this game between the Yankees and the Red Sox.
So, I mean, nowadays, and a good average seems to be like 260, which is kind of embarrassing for the league. But I mean, if you want to go with that, Verdugo 294 against Cole, Bogarts 267 against Cole, and he's kind of heating up again. Devers 261 against Cole, Jackie Bradley Jr. 250. Christian Vasquez, he had some great playoff moments against the Yankees last year. He's also hitting 250 against Cole. This is a team that sees Cole well, and I always think of that first game of the season here where everybody was thinking that Cole's just going to go out there and deal like a $350 million pitcher would do, and he got rocked in the first inning, gave up like 3 back-to-back home runs or something like that, something there. But Munaf, you could say I saved this comment for this game, but that would just be mean. But the formula in the chat says that Soto's going to the Yankees just to piss you off.
Ugh, yuck.
Honestly, though,
look at Dylan's face. He's so disgusted right now.
Honestly, though, this Yankees,
that would be the worst thing.
Honestly, though, this Red Sox team's rolling. I think you could say there could be some value here with Winkowski on the mound going up against Cole. The Red Sox, they're playing very good ball right now. They're 10-5 in the last 15. Why not? Don't fade them right now. Let's take them against the Yankees here. What's the head-to-head record between these two teams lately? Munaf, do you know?
I'll look it up.
They won the playoff series, so they have their number for a good. That's a 3-year coupon, right?
This year, the Yankees are 2-1 against the Red Sox.
Okay, that was that.
It's crazy to think
opening day series.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that this, I guess, almost at the midway point of the season, that this is only the second series between these two squads. But Dylan, what do you got for this game?
Are you both on the Red Sox?
I am. Yes, I am taking the Red Sox. I'm not getting behind the Yankees. Are you crazy?
All right. Well, I expect that from you, Munaf, because you are a Red Sox fan. But All right, I'm by myself. I'm going to take the Yankees on the run line here. I made the Yankees a minus 165 favorite. Besides that one bad start in the beginning of June against the Twins, I think Cole's really settled in and he's really honed it in. So 6+ innings in his last 4 starts. He hasn't given up more than 2 runs. Will this be the start we see regression? Hopefully not. So I think we see a solid effort from the Yankees lineup after dropping their last 2. Give me the Yankees at even money on the run line.
The formula says take the over too in the chat.
Dylan, what do you got for the total?
I made my total 8.4. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's right out there at that 8.5. So
yeah.
Are you guys have anything else for this game?
Just
Go
get
Yankees.
ready for a nice 4-game series between those 2 teams. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Thursday to Sunday, that's going to be a lot of fun. You know, my eyes will be glued to that for sure. All right, this is going to be the second game of the doubleheader between the Pirates and the Reds. There is not a listed pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, but I do see Wilson is going to be on the mound for the Pirates. Noah, let me kick this to you. Do you have a listed pitcher for the Reds for the second game of the doubleheader?
I have Tyler Mahle.
Okay,
Dylan, is that what you got?
Let me double check here.
So I made my lines as if Tyler Mahle was going to be the pitcher, but he did get scratched. So
I'm seeing a Robert Duger now.
So he got scratched?
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah,
So
so
who's
I don't
jumping
really
in?
I don't really have a feel since I don't know who's going for the Redlegs.
I see a Robert Duger.
Robert Duger.
What a name.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna restate the trend that I said earlier in the podcast and buy us some time to look up Robert Duger. The over is hit in 4 of Pittsburgh's last 6 and 7 of Cincinnati's last 9. And Bryce Wilson wasn't even the slated starter last night for this game either. It was JT Brubaker. So both teams kind of scratched one of their top starters and are throwing Bryce Wilson and what was the guy's name again? Robert Duger.
Duggar, I think it is.
That's a
Duggar. A great name.
Okay.
I have some information once you're done, Noah.
Okay, yeah, I'm good because I'm probably just going to take the over because Bryce Wilson, he has a 7.49 ERA, and it's kind of like the Brian Bayo thing from yesterday. Now I've seen a lot more stuff from him given that he's making the start today, and there's a lot of hype around him. And maybe Munaf, you would have been better for the podcast with Brian Bayo, but it was a guy that I hadn't really heard of, but he's a top 5 prospect in the Red Sox organization. Mm-hmm. And I might get burned taking the Rays money team total there, but that's just kind of the angle that I'm going to take with this Reds pitcher as well.
Yeah. Speaking of Tyler Mahle, I just see that he got put on the IL by the Reds. So I think that's why he probably got scratched. I think it says a shoulder issue, but Robert, I'll go with Duggar. He's been a relief pitcher for both the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cincinnati Reds. I think his last appearance in the major leagues was back on May 7th against the Pirates, where he did go 3 innings, allowed 3 earned runs in that span. He did allow 5 hits as well. His last start in the minor leagues was against Toledo, where he went 3 innings and allowed 3 earned runs in that game as well. So he's kind of prone to giving up some runs. Hasn't been very good in the minor leagues either. His ERA in the last 60 days in the minor leagues is at 5.63 with a whip of 1.59. So I guess, Noah, you might be onto something with the over there in this game. But you guys have anything else to add for this game?
No, I'll tell Noah. I'll take the over.
It's just like a typical, like, you don't know the minor leaguer coming up. Just take a team total over maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I might get burned taking that with Bayo, but here against Duggar, and it looks like Duggar, it's got a double G. So
yeah, Duggar.
Probably that's the right play, I would say. Just a team total or over.
Real quick, I know you're a Red Sox fan. What's the hype around this pitcher? Is he the real deal? Because I know one of my Red Sox friends, apparently he lives up in Massachusetts. They're excited for this kid.
Yeah, I saw a clip on MLB Network saying he's the next Pedro Martinez. So
relax.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but
Don Morosi, dude.
Yeah, I mean that guy tweets like he's like in kindergarten because he doesn't capitalize anything or anything. Yeah, I understand why people are excited for this guy. I mean, he's done pretty well in the minor leagues. I mean, like Noah said, he's been one of the top prospects for the Red Sox, and I think that when you talk about Red Sox pitching, when you have somebody coming up into the major leagues, I think it's kind of is a breath of fresh air. And he's been pretty good in the minor leagues. He
Yeah.
posted a 2.51 ERA over the last 2 months, over the last 2 weeks. He's doing even better with 1.64 ERA, 11 innings pitched, and only allowed 2 earned runs in that span. The one concern about him is that the walks are a little bit high, right? He had 77 strikeouts to 22 walks over the last 2 months. So I see the excitement for him, but we got to pump the brakes a little bit on the next Pedro Martinez for the Red Sox. But definitely a guy that, hey, if he pans out and he does well, he could be a guy that maybe sticks around in the rotation, or it could be an arm out of the bullpen, because we talked about a lot of time, guys, how bad this bullpen has been this season for the
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox, where they've given up so many leads. And last night was another example of that, where they did that against the Tampa Bay Rays. So I will definitely be tuning into this game and see how he does. I think that there may be some jitters in your first start in Fenway Park. I think there's something to that, but if he's able to keep the walks under control, guys, I think that he could really pan out for the Red Sox.
So, I mean, they've been saying that this kid, he's a strikeout thrower, and a little bit of I mean, walks might be an issue, and they really like him as a reliever. So, like you said, that could be an option. But right now, you guys kind of need him as starter with a couple of your injuries there. So, Bayo looks pretty promising. Have you seen a video of his changeup?
I have not.
That thing is Pedro-esque. I'm not gonna lie. That thing's wild.
Yeah,
everyone has to stop with the Pedro comparison. Come on, he
when it's on
even
MLB Network,
one.
that you're gonna get everybody to say that. So,
how many bad takes have those guys?
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. That's right.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, I mean, Noah's been right about his strikeouts here. I know we're spending a little too much time on this guy, but he's had at least.
Yeah, he's not even pitching today.
Yeah, and he's not even pitching on the Thursday schedule. So let's do this when we do the podcast tomorrow. We can do a recap of what we saw for him. But when I'm looking at his minor league numbers,
we'll talk about him 3 days in a row.
Yeah, the strikeouts are looking really good for him. All right, guys. Before we move over to the next game, let me tell you guys about Sleeper. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform with millions of players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I use it for mine, and we here at SGPN use it as well. It's a game-changing product unlike anything else in the industry, and now you can make money on Sleeper too by playing their new over-under game. It's super simple. First, in any sport, choose 2 or more players that you like and pick the over-under. For example, number of points in basketball, or hits and strikeouts, total bases in baseball. Then choose the amount of money you want to enter into the contest. If you pick correctly, you can win anywhere from 2 times to over 20 times the money you put in. The main reason we're excited about Over Under on Sleeper is that it's the only app where I can join my buddy's contest, as well as the group for SGPN, and we can play together. It's got a built-in group chat where we can see and copy our friends' picks with a tap of a button. It's insanely fun to write it out together. So stop what you're doing and download Sleeper now to play their new over-under game and have fun with your friends and make some money. So on your mobile devices, to join our listener group, go to sleeper.com/SGP, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's right. Join our squad and get 100% deposit match at sleeper.com/SGP, and make sure to use promo code SGPMLB to get that first deposit match of up to $100. That's right. Use promo code SGPMLB. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. And guys, as well, for SGPN this summer, we're making moves, and we've made a new move with the merch store, the SGPN merch store. We've relaunched the SGPN merch store. Tons of awesome gear from your favorite SGPN shows, just like the MLB Gambling Podcast. All you got to do is go to store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. That's store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com to get the freshest gear from the SGPN merch store. So make sure to check it out and buy some gear and support our MLB Gambling Podcast show as well. Speaking of Sleeper, like we just talked about, Noah has been killing it with the strikeout props. He swept the board last night with Noah Syndergaard. And who was the other one you had yesterday, Noah? Was it Alcantara yesterday? You're on mute. Bingo.
I always do that coming out of ad breaks, but it was Tyone, Alcantara, and Syndergaard for the three.
There we go. So do you have a couple more for the people for the Thursday schedule so they can play it on Sleeper?
Yeah. So what I'm going to be looking at is I like to look at teams that strike out often. You look at it and you see a nice little ace, or he's pitching like an ace. I don't know if he's considered their ace, going up against the Cubs, who are in the top five of strikeouts per game with 881, so 8.81 strikeouts per game. Tony Gonsolin, he's going to be a guy that I'm eyeing. I'm going to want to see where those odds come out there for the guy. Also, another arm that I'm going to look for is, I was eyeing Tyler Mahle. That was disappointing that he just got put on the IL. So I'm going to keep it at Tony Gonsolin for this pod. We'll see what else happens here, because another spot that we could look at is against the D-backs, whoever the Rockies pitch. I think I saw Austin Gomber. I'm not 100% sure there, but they're a team that strikes out pretty frequent as well. And the last, I guess, one more, if you want a three-legger, I know I said that I could see him blowing up, but it would be Trevor Williams against the Marlins. The Marlins have treated me well lately, so.
Yeah, I think one guy that I'm looking at for total bases for Sleeper, and make sure to check it right there. Like I said, sleeper.com/SGP. Use promo code SGPMLB. Jock Peterson has some great success against Joe Musgrove. We'll get to that game in a minute, but he's 8 of 14 against Joe Musgrove, 4 home runs, so 8 hits. Half of those have been the long ball for Jock Peterson. So there is a total bases prop available on Sleeper. I might be looking at that. So something to keep in mind between the strikeout props that Noah just gave out there and Jock Peterson, which I'm looking at tomorrow. Maybe get his total bases prop, or even as a prop bet to get on his home run prop as well. Guys, let's keep it moving here on the Thursday schedule. Let's go to the St. Louis Cardinals in Atlanta to take on the Braves. 7:20 Eastern start. Matthew Liberatore for the St. Louis Cardinals, and for the Atlanta Braves, Spencer Strider is on the mound for them. Looking at the lines for this game, it's going to be all right, here we go. Minus 195 favorites for the Atlanta Braves, plus 165 on the money line for the St. Louis Cardinals. Over under set at 9 with juice towards the over at minus 115. Run line minus 1.5, minus 105 for the Atlanta Braves, and plus 1.5, minus 115 for the St. Louis Cardinals. In this game, I will let Noah lead this one off.
Yeah, so Matthew Liberatore's 2-1 with a 5.66 ERA in 3 MLB starts so far in his career. 18 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 20.2 innings pitched. The way he's been kind of going, he's been good start, bad start, good start. He's good for he's due for a nice 5-inning start here, coming off a rough one. And for Atlanta, he's the mustache assassin, is Spencer Strider, the double S2. 4-2 on the year, 3.17 ERA, 90 strikeouts, 23 walks, 59.2 innings pitched. He's had back-to-back 6-inning starts versus the Reds with 1 run on 1 hit with 11 strikeouts, and against the Dodgers with 0 runs on 5 hits and 7 strikeouts. So, I mean, how do you fade Strider here? The under is hit in 6 of the Cardinals' last 7 games and 4 of the Braves' last 5. So with Strider looking good lately, and Liberatore, he might be due for a good outing. The under might not be a bad play here either, but definitely I'm probably picking the Braves to win this one, and who knows, maybe a run line.
Yeah, No, I'll get to Dylan's handicap here in a second, but can you look up where the Cardinals are as far as a strikeout percentage for the season here? And
Yeah,
I'll
I
let
have it.
Dylan. Yeah, go
I have
ahead.
it right here. They're sixth, so they're striking out the sixth least out of any team in the MLB.
6 leads. Okay.
772 a game.
Okay. Dylan, what do you got for this game, buddy?
Yeah, so Noah likes the under. I'm actually going to go over here, over 9. I made my total 9.8. I think we see a high scoring affair in this one with these two. Liberatore, he's given up 4 runs in every start or more, 4 runs or more, excuse me, in every one of his starts on the road. And I think with how good the Braves have been recently, they'll be able to score 4 or 5 runs on the Cardinals. Now, will the Cardinals be able to score? I'm banking on that they will. So I'm going to fade Liberatore and just take the over in this one, over 9.
I kind of like if you say runs being scored. I like the run line on Atlanta, but just to fully answer the question, Atlanta's 29th in strikeout rate per game. They're striking out 9.33 times a game, Munaf. So
Yeah, Libertor, I mean, on the road, he's 0-1 with a 10.97 ERA, 10 and two thirds innings pitched, and he's given up 13 earned runs in that span. He's also allowed 4 home runs. He struck out only 7 batters and walked 6 guys in that span. So, Noah, you talked about how he's had good start, bad start, but if kind of, we look at it, it's really all those starts have been bad on the road,
road.
like Noah just Dylan just mentioned. But I agree about the overplay. I'm gonna take it to the Braves team total over first half. First 5 innings. And I think probably take a look at it full game as well in this game. I agree with Dylan here that I want to probably fade Liberatore here for the St. Louis Cardinals. And who knows that the Cardinals may be good for a couple runs, but I think that I want to focus in here on the Braves team total here. All right, next game on the board, guys. It's going to be the Detroit Tigers at the Chicago White Sox. It's going to be 8:10 Eastern start. Bo Brisky on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Chicago White Sox. Currently seeing opening lines in this game of minus 245 favorites for the Chicago White Sox. Detroit Tigers plus 205 on the money line. Over under set at 8.5, minus 110 both ways. On the run line here, minus 1.5, minus 125 for the Chicago White Sox, and then plus 1.5, plus 105 on the run line for the Detroit Tigers. Guys, I'm going to keep this one simple here. When I was handicapping this game, Dylan Cease, number one, has been really good over his last 5 games, and he's posted a season record of 7-3 with a 2.51 ERA. His last 5 games, he's 3-1 with a 0.65 ERA. He's only allowed 2 earned runs in 27 and two thirds innings pitched against his division opponents so far this season. He's 3-1 with a 2.33 ERA, allowed 7 earned runs in 27 innings. But here's what is going to make this, and the spoiler alert, this is probably going to be my best bet against the Detroit Tigers in his career, guys. He is a perfect 10-0 with a 1.91 ERA, 75 strikeouts, and 11 appearances. And those 10 wins, the Chicago White Sox have won those 10 games by 2 or more runs in every single one of those 10 games. So I'm gonna, and again, they got, I think, they got Eloy Jimenez back today to the White Sox. The offense finally broke out here a little bit today in that Wednesday afternoon game. I think that is going to be a spot that there's no travel situation for them. Dylan Cease is going to do what he's been doing against the Detroit Tigers in his entire career, where he's a perfect 10-0. That's crazy. And they've won, like I said, those games by 2 or more runs. I love the Chicago White Sox run line here, guys. Noah, what do you got for this game? I know it's your Tigers team.
Yeah, you basically have the handicap correct. I mean, this guy is just a Tigers killer. Can you read off the run line for me again?
For the game,
Yeah,
it's minus 1.5, minus 125.
dude, is that money line like 170 points higher?
120.
Yeah, that's kind of like high, crazy. Seems like too much of a gap. Just kind of, I saw a tweet from Scott saying something about another line earlier this week, and that one just kind of jumps out at me as well because it's the run line, and I don't know why the odds aren't higher if it's in the 200s. Minus 120 seems like a great price. Minus 1.5 with Cease, and given that He has been amazing against the Tigers. In his last 7 starts, he's only given up 2 earned runs as well. A lot of just unearned runs due to errors from this defense. So it really is just like a Cease go out there and give us 6-7, and we should have this game won already, because Tigers, they have found some offense lately, but most of the time it's just they fall down early and they're done.
Yeah. Dylan, what do you got for this game? Dylan, are you backing Dylan?
Yeah, I am backing them. Before I do that, I want to give the Tigers social media what a job. They said can't spell Cleveland without a bunch of L's with the broom emoji. So great job by them. But no,
Munaf, nice sweep. 4-game
nice
sweep.
Hey, you take it how you can get it. But no, Munaf, I'll keep this short and sweet. You took literally all my notes. So yeah, I'm gonna take Dylan. He's just on fire. He's had the Tigers number. I also like the under as well. I set my total at 7.1. So I really think that 8.5 was just too high. It stuck out for me. So I'll take the under. I'll take the White Sox run line. I'll take the Tigers team total under.
All right. So agreement on this game between all three of us. Let's keep the ball rolling here, guys. The next game on the board is going to be a West Coast game between two NL West teams, teams in the bottom of the barrel there. Colorado Rockies at the Arizona Diamondbacks, 9:40 Eastern start. Austin Gomber on the mound for the Colorado Rockies, and Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Currently do not see a line for this game. Dylan, if you want to give a line for this game, you're welcome to, but I am going to keep this one simple for myself. Anytime I see Dallas Keuchel on the mound, I am going the other way, or I'm betting the over automatically, because this guy has been absolutely atrocious so far this season. And just to kind of put it in perspective for everyone and our listeners, Dallas Keuchel on the season, 2-6 with an 8.27 ERA. His last start was against his last 2 starts, in fact, have been against the against the Colorado Rockies in Colorado. 5 innings, he gave up 6 earned runs. Previous start against the Detroit Tigers, which was back on June 26th. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 4 earned runs gave up in that game. He's given up at least
just keep going.
I will. I'm gonna bag on this guy. He's given up at least 6 earned runs in 3 out of his last 4 starts. The final scores for the last 4 games have been 11-7 in a loss, 11-7 in a win, 16-7 in a loss, and 7-5 in a loss against the Yankees. Last 5 games, 0-3 with a 9.74 ERA. He's allowed 22 earned runs in 20 innings pitched. So he's given up more earned runs than innings pitched so far over his last 5 starts here. But Dylan, I'll kick it to you, my man. Keuchel versus Austin Gomber.
The reason why the total's not posted is because both of these guys have just been awful.
But who has been less awful? Austin Gomber. So that's why I made them a -115 favorite. I made the D-backs +115, -1.5 for the Rockies, +140. As for the total, I made it 10.3. So agree with Munaf. I do like the over. There's just no way I could back Keuchel right now. So yeah, I got to fade Keuchel. I'll take the over. Let's blindly bet that.
Yeah, Austin Gomber, I haven't talked about him, but his last 5 games, he is 2-1. Does have a winning record, but the ERA is 6.53 in those games. 15 earned runs given up in 20 2/3 innings. On the road, he's 2-3, 6.42 ERA, 24 earned runs in 33 2/3 innings pitched. So I think that over is probably the only way to look at it. So which means that these 2 guys will probably come out and look like Cy Young pitchers tomorrow. But Noah, you got anything for this game?
Yeah, the formula in the chat just revealed his identity. He's Insano from Slack channel. So he agrees with you on the Colorado Arizona over. He said fade Keuchel. So yeah, great job as always, he says. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't think this total could be posted high enough, honestly.
Yeah, if I see anything below 10, oh my God, we have to kind of smash it.
That should be the quad lock. We should remake up for ourselves. God. That's the quad lock.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Then this
It's
game
a
is gonna end.
forbidden. That's a forbidden phrase.
It's gonna
Then
end
we'll
like
see a
2-1.
2-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, guys. Let me tell you guys about our new sponsor on the show, Dave. I know Malcolm has teased that there's a TV channel or a TV network in his parts called Dave, but this is completely something different. We kind of look, guys. We've all kind of been in a situation when, if we were younger or been in tight situations where we've been a little tight on cash. It happens, and maybe you could only afford to put a few gallons in the gas tank, especially nowadays with the gas prices so high. Or you got another save to date, another wedding to attend, and you're wondering how you're going to afford a gift. That's where Dave really comes in and can help you out. If you're living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet, especially in this time of the economy where we're at, it can be really stressful when unexpected expenses do come up. We all have, like I said, the gas prices are high. It's the summertime. Car breakdowns can come up. You got to take it to the mechanic, and they slap you with a $1,000 bill to fix something in your car. Dave can help you get out of that pinch when you really need it. And if you can't, in hindsight is 2020. If you can't change the past, you can get a little help from the future itself. And again, that is Dave. Dave is a banking app that can help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. There's more money to fill your tank, buy that wedding present, get those car repairs needed, especially in the summertime, or just simply catch up on bills. You can finally tackle those expenses that you have been stressing you out without any hangups. There's no interest, there's no credit card needed. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get financial relief they need with extra cash. So, if you're in a pinch and need some extra help, download Dave and think of it as a helpful hand from the future for you. All you have to do is download the Dave app in the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees may apply. Banking provided by Evolve, member FDIC. All right, guys, we got 3 games left on the schedule here. Let's go with the next game on the board. It's going to be the San Francisco Giants at the San Diego Padres, 9:40 Eastern start between Logan Webb and Joe Musgrove. Looking at the lines for this game, I am seeing a -135 favorite for the San Diego Padres, plus 115 on the money line for the San Francisco Giants. Over under is set at 7, with juice towards the under at -120. Run line -1.5, plus 170 for the Padres, and plus 1.5, -200 for the Giants. Noah, I'm gonna let you lead this one off. Padres versus Giants.
Appointment television. Grab your popcorn because this one's going to be good. This one's the best game on the slate, in my opinion, with both Logan Webb and Joe Musgrove on the mound. Two of my favorite pitchers in the game right now. In 2022, Webb is 7.3 with a 3.13 ERA, 86 strikeouts, 23 walks, and 97.2 innings pitched. And in his last start against the White Sox, it was kind of a blip in the radar because since June 9th, this guy has a 1.80 ERA. And then for Joe Musgrove, he's 8-2 on the year, 2.25 ERA, 92 strikeouts, 19 walks, and 92 innings pitched. That's a strikeout per inning and 92 innings. This last 2 games stretch for Musgrove also hasn't been outstanding, giving up 2 tanks in each of the outings. After back-to-back losses and his first 2 losses of the season, Big Joe should go out there and shove against the Giants here. I like the under in this matchup with both pitchers on the mound, and I lean towards the Padres winning this one.
Dylan, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I love the Padres here with Musgrove. I made them a -150 favorite. I'm actually very surprised the Padres aren't a bigger favorite. The Giants lost again last night. I don't know, man. Just something is wrong with this team. They can't score runs to save their life. Now they're going up against arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball. I just think this is a bad spot for them on the road. So give me the Padres here at home on the money line, -135.
Yeah, it almost feels like we're getting a discounted price here on the San Diego Padres with their best pitcher on the mound and Joe Musgrove. And I do like the under in this game as well. And for the reasons you guys just mentioned, the pitchers have been really good for both of these teams. And again, we talked about how the Giants are just struggling at the moment to score any type of runs against the opposition. So I like the under 7 here, and I do like the there's obviously, like I said, discounted price here on the San Diego Padres at -135. If you do like the run line at +170, I don't hate that either. I mean, if the Giants are only going to be able to score maybe 1 or 2 runs, I can see the Padres coming out and putting up maybe 4 to 5 runs, or this game ends like a 4-1, 4-2 type of situation, and it stays under the total, and they cover the run line as well. So, if you want to put a half a unit or quarter of a unit on that, I don't hate that for this game. All right, gentlemen. 2 games left on the board here. Let's go with the Chicago Cubs at the headed to LA to take on the Dodgers. 10:10 Eastern start is going to be Mark Leiter Jr. versus Tony Gonsolin on the mound for the Dodgers. Don't currently see actually, I do see a line. I'm sorry. -275, heavy favorites here for the LA Dodgers. +230 on the money line for the Chicago Cubs. Over under set at 8, -120 for the over. Run line -1.5, -130 for the Dodgers, and +1.5, +110 for the Chicago Cubs. Tony Gonsolin has been absolutely fantastic this season. He's a perfect 10-0 so far this season for the LA Dodgers. His ERA right now is at 1.54. He does have 77 strikeouts, does have 23 walks on the season, but over his last 5 games, gentlemen, 4-0 with a 1.47 ERA. He's only allowed 5 earned runs in about close to 31 innings pitched at home this season. A perfect 6-0. ERA is below 1, where he's only allowed 4 earned runs, and get this, 41 innings pitched at home so far this season. Mark Leiter does get to come back into the starting rotation. He did come in relief appearance for the Cubs, I think, when they faced the Red Sox at home, where I believe Alec Mills left that game early for them, but he was great in that game in relief appearance and long relief appearance for the Chicago Cubs against the Red Sox. But he's ran into some type of trouble early in the season, but it seems like he's kind of worked things out for himself. But on the road so far this season, 0-2 with a 7.94 ERA. He's allowed 10 earned runs in 11 innings pitched, and I think that's really come in that first start where he had this season against the Colorado Rockies in Colorado all the way back on April 16th. So I'm not going to get away from the Dodgers here, guys. Tony Gonsolin has been an absolute monster, especially at home. I read the numbers. Give me the Dodgers run line. Don't bother with the money line with the Dodgers. I know, Dylan, you put a golden nugget in the group chat today, or was it today or the day before, about the Dodgers and just backing the run line on their games. But what do you have for this game?
Yeah, it's a little chalky, but I'm the same with you, Munaf. Give me the Dodgers on the run line. Crazy stat, but like you said, I mentioned it in our group chat. Out of the Dodgers' 51 wins, 47 of them have come by 2 or more runs. So when the Dodgers win, they'll most likely win by 2 or more runs. The Dodgers covered the run line all 3 times in the last series against the Cubs. They're 7-3 towards the run line in their last 10. I think we see it continue tomorrow night. Give me the Dodgers on the run line -1.5.
Noah?
Yeah, I'm with you guys on the run line, and also Gonsolin is kind of my favorite and only strikeout prop play for tomorrow. He's not really known as like a strikeout type guy. He's been averaging 1 an inning so far this year, but he doesn't go deep. That's the issue into these games. He's only been 5-6 innings for most of these games, but he's getting better as the season goes on. His last outing was his longest outing by far, going 8.2 innings pitched, only gave 4 hits, 1 earned run. He had 8 strikeouts in those 8 innings. Couldn't get the final out in that game, but he still only had like 93 pitches in this outing against the Padres. What just scares me is that they seem to be limiting him to either pitches or innings or both. So that's my only like concern about the strikeout prop. Otherwise, there's not really any other big names going up against strikeout prone offenses. So if you're looking for one, that's going to be my favorite guy of the day, and also run line for the Dodgers.
All right, there we go. Agreement on the Dodgers run line in this game with Tony Gonsolin on the mound for the Dodgers. All right, guys, last game on the board. It's going to be the Toronto Blue Jays headed up to Seattle to take on the Mariners. 10:10 Eastern start. Marco Gonzalez is going to be on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. And I see a Casey Lawrence is going to be on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. I do not have a line for this game, Dylan. I will kick it to you to see what you have for this game.
I literally just lost my. Oh no, I found it. Don't you have Kevin Gossman pitching for the Blue Jays?
I thought he was on the IL, unless he's coming back.
I thought he was scheduled to come back because that's how I handicapped this game.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, let's go with Kevin Gossman then. Go ahead.
All right, so I made the Blue Jays a -170 favorite, -1.5 at -110. Mariners +170, +1.5 is +110. Total, I made 8.1. Don't look now, but the Mariners, they're just 3.5 games out of the wild card spot. The team is starting to get it together, while the Blue Jays, I don't know, they've lost 5 in a row. So their offense has just disappeared. So I think if we could get a nice plus price here with the home puppy and the Mariners, I think Marco Gonzalez could keep them close. So I'm hoping we get a +170 or better. I'll be on the Mariners here.
Yeah, this Blue Jays offense right now they're just not putting up runs and they're struggling. I don't know if it's just regression or what it is, but even on this Wednesday afternoon game, they've only put up 2 runs in about 9 innings here against James Caprillion, and he has been terrible this season. I know recently he had been in good form, but they just haven't been able to put up runs. But Noah, you have anything for this game between the Blue Jays and the Mariners?
Yeah, so Gosman, I know he's coming off the IL, and Marco Gonzalez. Both of these guys over the last 5 starts have been ultra consistent. Gonzalez going 6 innings in each of his starts, only giving up a max of 2 runs in all 5 of those starts. And then Gosman, he's been consistent the whole year, basically. I hate to limit him to just 5 runs to fit my narrative, 5 starts to fit my narrative here, but like he had one start where he gave up 5 runs and there was 7 earned in his 2.1 where he kind of got blown up. But other than that, I mean, this guy, he's been giving up 0, 1, 2, 3 runs in every outing except for the one outing against the Orioles of all teams at home in the Rogers Center. So it's just kind of like one bad start on this whole resume so far this year. So I kind of like an under in this game when it comes out. I don't know where it's going to land, but that's kind of going to be where I'm going to land.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have much on this game either. The pitching was kind of up in the air as well, and if it is Kevin Gossman, I don't think that's a guy I can get behind right now, especially how him coming off the IL and also how well just Seattle has been playing. I know I talked a lot about that they may struggle with the suspensions and stuff, but it just seems like they're doing even better with some of these guys out of the lineup. But they've been holding it down, and Dylan mentioned it that they're slowly sneaking up into that wild card positioning for the playoffs. So if you get a nice plus price on the Mariners here, I know the Blue Jays are a team that has just a lot of talent, but they're just regressing in the wrong way right now. So I think the value will be on the Mariners in this game with Marco Gonzalez on the mound. Before we get into the segment with Minty, let me tell you guys about IP Vanish. IP Vanish is a VPN that we use here at SGPN. And did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well give away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why I use IP Vanish VPN to make it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. IP Vanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. This means that your private details, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. Even your physical location will be hidden. IP Vanish makes you virtually invisible online. It's that simple. You can use IP Vanish on unlimited devices without sacrificing on speed. Your computers, tablets, phones, and even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. Whether I'm at home or in public, I don't go online anymore without using IP Vanish. IP Vanish is offering an incredible 70% off the yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's like getting 9 months for free. IP Vanish is super easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button and you're instantly protected. You won't even know it's on. Stop sharing with the world everything you stream, everything you search for, and everything you buy. Take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. So go to ipvanish.com/SGP and use promotional code SGP and claim your 70% in savings. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. All right, guys, let's get into our lock and dog for this Thursday game schedule. Noah, I will let you lead it off, my man. Lock and dog for the Thursday schedule. What do you got?
Um, so I'm going to start off with my dog just because
Okay.
I think it's a little out there. I'm going to go with Boston plus 140 against Garrett Cole. I think that we get a very nice
Mm.
price there against Cole. Um, and Boston's won 10 of the last 15. They're rolling right into the series that you want to be rolling into with the rivalry series. And I think that they get them back for that first series that they ended up losing 2 of the 3 games against the Yankees. I like Boston here on the money line. And then for my lock, I could go many which ways with the run lines here, but I think I like not going against my team and the Tigers the most. So I'm going to go with the Dodgers -1.5 at -130 here for National 77 Day.
All right, there we go. So lock for Noah. Dodgers -1.5 on the run line, and his dog is going to be the Boston Red Sox plus 140 against the New York Yankees. Dylan, I will let you go next, my man. What is your lock and dog for the Thursday schedule?
So my lock, we touched on it. It's going to be the Padres on the money line. I think we're getting a discounted price with the better pitcher, the better team. One team is going in the right direction. One team is not going in the right direction. So I'm going to take the home favorite in the Padres. And for my dog, I didn't really like any dogs like straight up. So the only one I could really get a plus price on is I'm gonna challenge Noah to a showdown. He's taking the
Ooh.
Red Sox. I'll take the Yankees on the run line here on even. Noah, since you taking the Red Sox, we should have a friendly bet. If I
Uh-oh.
win,
Uh-oh.
My first statement is like plus 100 for the dog.
that's first of all,
Come
there's 7 games off the board, so I don't really have a lot.
Go with
the
the Padres plus 170 if you like
Ooh,
that.
I like that.
No,
Don't let them bully you.
No,
Don't let them
I
bully
know.
you. No bullying.
I know.
Bullying is not
Plus
allowed.
100, plus 100,
Yeah,
plus 100,
so that's,
plus 100.
Yeah, it's plus 100. He's trying to stray away from having a showdown.
No.
That's what it is, Munaf.
I'm saying it's an interesting angle to try to like face off against each other when you technically barely qualify for a dog.
How about this? How about this?
God. All right, go ahead. This is
All right,
going on way too long. Go ahead.
What's going on? What are we doing here?
If I
Insano
win,
in the chat is on your side too. So
let's
Of
go.
course he is. Oh, big shock there.
They got to win by 2 runs.
What's that twin thing in the background in your room, Noah?
I have
your right shoulder.
logos. I have logos for all the teams.
How about you send me that twins thing if I win?
Oh,
And if I lose, I'll send you a nice. I got a lot of nice memorabilia sport things. I'll send you something.
A fat head for a memorabilia. I don't know if that's even for your part.
Munaf, we can agree. He's scared.
Yeah, I think Noah's scared. Yeah,
I'm not.
Noah, you should be getting good vibes since you're wearing a red polo there. You're picking the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm not scared in the pick at all. I have all the confidence in the world that they could get this win. But what if we split here? You have them -1.5, and I just have Boston winning. What if the Yankees win by 1?
I'm gonna let you guys figure this out online because this is a little dragging on a little too long here. All right, let me get into my picks here. I'm gonna go with.
We'll post it on Twitter. We do.
Yeah. How about you do that? Yeah, post it on Twitter.
We'll get a nice little graphic of just like lined up there. He can be in a PFL outfit, and I'll grab some boxing trunks or something.
I'm gonna go with 2 run lines here. I'm gonna go with the Chicago White Sox -1.5, -125. I kind of tipped my hand early in the show. Dylan Cease has been an absolute beast against the Detroit Tigers. 10-0 in his career. All those games have won by 2 or more runs. Chicago White Sox offense broke out on Wednesday afternoon. They walked it off in the bottom of the 10th there. So some positive momentum going for them. And again, Bo Brisky early on does give up a run, at least in that first inning or so. So I think this offense can get to him. Dylan Cease should be able to shut him down. Give me the run line -1.5, -125 as my log. for my dog, I'm going to follow Dylan's log here, but I'm going to take the run line here. -1.5 plus 170 on the San Diego Padres with Joe Musgrove on the mound. I think he bounces back here against his Giants team, which is absolutely struggling right now to score a run. So I'm going to take that run line to the bank here at a nice juicy price of +170 with the Padres.
I think that's going to be a nice unpopular play because everybody's going to see this great pitching matchup and think that it's going to be a one-run game.
Yeah.
I think that one's good.
Yeah. That's going to do it for this edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast. We'll get more details on if Noah and Dylan are able to work something out with their friendly wager here, but we shall see. I also wanted to thank Minty for joining the show today. She's absolutely incredible, a great friend for the show. She'll be back later in the season as well. As we get into the second half of the season, this is absolutely crazy. We're already approaching the All-Star break here, boys. But anything else you want to get off your chest here, Noah, before we get out of here, my man?
Just a fair warning, I'm wearing Red Sox red, and it's National 77 Day. I'm not sure if it's a smart idea to fade me, but if you want to see what the bet is, go follow us on Twitter at MLBSGPN. If you're watching the video, our tags are on the screen. Moonoff on Twitter, Sports Nerd 824. Dylan Rock with 2Ks 24, me 77, the word 70, the number 7 NB on Twitter. Subscribe. We have like 20 subscribers already in the first day, so you guys have been amazing so far on YouTube. Like the videos, it does well. Like, it helps us tremendously when you like the videos. Also turn on the bell so you know when we're gonna go live on YouTube, but also when you're just streaming on the regular podcast forums. Like, rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment wherever you're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I think Noah pretty much covered everything there. Dylan, anything else, my man?
No, he covered everything, and stay tuned for the showdown.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow in some form or fashion between myself, Malcolm, Dylan, and Noah. So again, like Noah said, if you haven't subscribed yet to the YouTube channel or given us a follow on Twitter, please make sure to do so. With that being said, good luck with your bets. Let's break these books off and let it ride.